Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. It is August the 2nd, 2020. It's hard to believe that we're in the month of August already. And today, I'm going to make something that I don't know if I've ever made before or not. But I have eaten it a few times and it is really, really good. I'm making cabbage rolls today. Now, the first time that I've ever eaten a cabbage roll was when my grandmother was alive and she had a friend name, and we called her Aunt Lee, but her name was Lee, and she made some, and I'll tell you what, it was really, really good. And I'm going to make an attempt to make this dish. Now, I looked online, and there's, all kinds of recipes dealing with cabbage rolls, and I thought, well, I'm going to try to see if I can come up with one of my own and take it from there. So, here we go. And I'm going to start off by talking about the filling. Now, I got a pound of ground turkey. You can use ground beef if you have it. Fresh ground beef. But like I said here, I got ground turkey. Now, what I did was I took a cup of rice. Now, this is the instant rice, which means it's been parboiled. And you want to cook it according to the package directions. This cooks for about 5 minutes. You just want to cook it with equal amounts of water. So I got 1 cup of rice and 1 cup of water. And you just let it stay for about 5 minutes after it gets through cooking. And that way it soaks up all the water. Now I'm going to add to it here. Now if I see if I need to add another pound of ground turkey, I'll do so, but I think this should be okay. And I'm going to just reserve the other half cup later. So what I'm going to do is just say a half a cup of rice, and if I need to, and if I want to, I'll use another pound of beef or pound of ground turkey. Okay, now just a couple of tablespoons of tomato sauce. I'm going to use tomato sauce to pour over the cabbage rolls before I put them in the oven. And we'll add some salt. Now, this is like making a meatloaf. 1 egg. And I'm going to add just a little bit of allspice to this. You don't want to add a whole lot. Some garlic powder. Onion powder. I'm going to see if I can find the Worcestershire sauce. And I can't see it. Hold on just a second. I will be right back. Alright, everybody. I found the Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to put just a little bit in here. Now, last night I was thinking about this, and I thought, well, I'm going to try and see if I can come up with one of my own. Now, we're going to combine everything together. And it does appear that I will only need a half a cup of the rice. I'm not going to fix a whole bunch because I'm not for sure how this is going to taste or turn out. Alright, let's see. Why don't I go ahead and do it? Why not? One cup of rice. Now the rice and the egg is going to hold it together. And it looks like it's going to do very, very good. Alright, so a pound of beef or turkey, whatever that you have on hand. 1 cup of rice, some Worcestershire sauce, 1 egg, onion powder, garlic powder, touch of allspice, a couple tablespoons of tomato sauce. And I add just a little bit more. There you go. This is what the filling looks like. Don't that look good already? And I'm so thankful. Now, let me wash my hands. Sometimes I'm a little bit optimistic about coming up with something of my own, wondering how it's going to turn out, and thankfully it turns out great. Alright, now let me put this to the side and I'm going to talk about the cabbage. Now, what I did, I got like a medium head of cabbage at the store yesterday, and you want to get a big pot of water going on the stove. Make sure that you salt the water. Take the outer leaves off because they're no good. You can't use them. And then stick the whole thing, the whole cabbage, in that water. Let it come to a boil. Let it boil for about 4 to 5 minutes. When the leaves are able to, you can be able to do something with them. That's when you can, the easiest way for me is to take a knife and go right here, whoops, to the bottom of the leaf next to the core. And when it is, what I'm trying to say is when it is easy to take it off, and you're going to tear it, it's nothing, that you can do about it. It's ready to be used. Now, if it's difficult, a little bit difficult to take off, put the cabbage head back into that pot of water. Let it cook for just a little bit more. And I've got 8 leaves right here. And you can tell that this is pliable to work with. You don't want to take it for an extended amount of time because you'll lose all the flavor out of the cabbage. Now, what you'll need to do is this tough fiber right here, this tough part of the cabbage, I'm going to remove it. And what that's going to do is it's just going to help make life a lot easier when you get ready to roll it up. Now, what I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to put this together. Alright everybody, welcome back. Now, I've been busy filling these cabbage leaves up. Now, the farther that you go down to the core on your head of cabbage, you will probably need 2 leaves. Now, just make sure, like I said, that you cut off the tough part. And for this one, I've got 2 more that I'm going to do. And it looks like I'm going to have about 11 cabbage rolls, depending upon the size of the cabbage roll that you want. Now, I've got these 2 together, so I've got one this way and the other this way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spoon a couple tablespoons of the filling. Then I'm going to take the sides in. Now, I am not a perfect roller by no means. And yes, the filling is going to tear up, come out, try to. And when it does, you just do your best. That's all I can do. Alright, so there we go. Now, if you wanted to, when you made your cabbage rolls, insert a toothpick. I don't think I have any toothpicks, but that will surely help it to stay together. Okay, here's the last one. May have enough for this little one, and I do. I got my oven preheated to 375, and here you go. And this is what they look like right here. You can tell that they're not real perfect. This is just a test. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to talk about the sauce. I got 3 small cans of tomato sauce here that I put in this little bowl. I'm going to flavor up this sauce with some brown sugar. I'm going to sweeten it up a little bit. I say I probably got about 2 or 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Salt. Then I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder in here too. But I already put salt in it. There we go. Let me get a whisk. Stir it in. Now I may or may not need all of this sauce. Okay, I'm going to check for seasoning. I get a spoon. That's good. Perfect. Alright. Get your bowl, or well, your baking dish, and just pour it on there. Alright. There you go. I'm making a mess too. That's alright. Good cooks make big messes, but I always clean it up. Alright, there we go. Now, I'm going to wrap it up, cover the top with parchment paper first. Then, and the reason that I'm going to do this is since tomatoes are acidic, you sure don't want any acid to come in contact with aluminum foil because it'll eat it up. I learned that the hard way a long time ago. Then I'm going to cover it with parchment with aluminum foil, and that way it'll help it to cook a lot better too. Okay, cover it tightly. All right, I'm going to stick in the oven 375. I'm going to say about 50 minutes to an hour. How's that? So I'm going to check it about 50 minutes, and what you're going to want to look for, I think, is the cabbage tender all the way, everything's completely done. So I want you to stay tuned. Alright everybody, welcome back. I just put the cabbage rolls in the oven. They're going to bake about 375 for about 50 minutes to an hour. I've decided to make video number 2 here shortly when they get through, and I'm anxious to see the results. So I want you to stay tuned. for video number 2.